Good evening, guys, and welcome back to the classroom with Architect Mark. Tonight, we're going to go back into Lightroom where we left off last time, which is on the Develop panel. And there's quite a few more things on the interface that we need to get grips with. It's important so that when we're using Lightroom finally, freely, we don't need to think about them anymore because we are already familiar. So let's head on over to our Lightroom and then pick up where we left off last time. Just reset my timer here. Move into the actual classroom and then start the timer now. Okay, so this third panel right here, HSL, color and black and white, is HSL and color are basically the same thing. It's easier to see here in color, but it's more visible to you what's happening if you are in this HSL panel. So basically it's the same. If you're an HSL panel, you have all the colors here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 different colors. Hue, saturation, and luminance, those are available to you at a glance. But if you're just zoning into a particular color, you can just go to color. And so you have the same controls, HSL, but not as visible. And it mainly if you just want to control one color, like for this example, we're going with red. Hue actually changes the red into something else, another color, within the immediate spectrum. So that's a cool way of manipulating the photo. As you can see here, when the red turned to orange, there's already a dramatic change in the image. Default value is always, of course, 0. It's the neutral value. Saturation allows you to increase the intensity of a particular color, in this case red, or eliminate it from the scene by turning it to gray on the extreme other side. This means that these have some orange on them, that's why they're not completely grayed out. Again, neutral value is 0. Luminance adds a targeted brightness to a specific color. So right now we're on red. If we go to positive luminance, the red gets a boost in brightness. And then here, it gets a reduction of it. You can also type in your input, or you can hold your mouse button here on the number and then pan your mouse from side to side. Quickly see the effect happening. Needing to fine-tune your hold on the slider. All right, black and white. I don't really mess with this much. So yeah, let's stick to HSL and color for now. Same thing with split toning. It's one of those things that you just leave be. But this will probably give an emphasis to a part of your photo, whichever part you deem to be important. Detail talks about sharpening, noise reduction, which is pretty important. And then So right now we're looking at the part of the book right here. You can move it around your focus point. So you can see that, for example, I want this text to be really sharp. So you can increase the amount of sharpening until it meets your desired look. And then you also have a mask here, which actually allows you to control how much of the image is sharpened. And you can dynamically see this by holding down the Alt key and then moving your mask slightly to the right until you just see the edges, and you are basically telling the computer, all right, all of these white lines you're seeing here, those are the ones that I want sharpened. So with masking on, only those that are white earlier will be hit with the sharpening modifier. Noise reduction, this is pretty important. If you look here above, and you can see that this basically is not a smooth part of the image. If you increase luminance, it smoothens out the imperfections of the image. Basically, this is a blur that is affecting a large area. We can further fine tune it by moving contrast so that it prioritizes those areas that are too vibrant against the backdrop. Color noise reduction, this is for when you see speckles of other colors or specks of other colors in your photo. Like, for example, you shot something at night, and then since it's pretty dark, ISO will be bumped up. And if you haven't limited that, your output will become gray. And this is one of the ways to solve that by going to color noise reduction. Right now, we don't have things like that, like an overlap or uh, in this picture particularly, we don't have problems with uh, color specs or color noise, so we don't really need to move that. Lens corrections are basically remove CA, which is the violet thing. Like right here, there's chromatic aberration. Let's try to see if this will remove that. And did it? Yep, it does affect the image ever so slightly, but chromatic aberration is the violet color that you see in high contrast situations. Profile corrections, you should have, like, let's see if we have here. So profile corrections, if for example you shot on a fisheye lens and someone has already developed an algorithm for it, you just find it in the list, the lens and body combination, and then you'll be coming home with a pretty comprehensive report. So after lens corrections, we have transformation, which is basically uh, if you, for example, feel that this is not a perfect line, can control that with this panel. So level makes all the horizontal lines align together, vertical, affects vertical lines, and then full affects both of the planes at the same time. But you can also uh, use these sliders to see what or how much of an effect that will have on the image. So this is the vertical motion. It's like tilting from back to front. Horizontal is left to right. Then can also control rotation here. Of course, there's a limit because otherwise you need to make it turn clockwise or counterclockwise. The aspect ratio adjustment is basically playing with the toy. Let's just keep that at 0 for now. Scale if you wanted to make things smaller, you can do that. Bigger, you can also probably do that. X and Y offset moves the image or shifts the final image to either direction, left, right, and or up and up. Effects post crop vignette. Okay, so this, if you turn this on or if you give value to it, as you can see here, uh, you're getting some form of white vignette, which basically uh, simulates something of a close proximity uh, telescope. And then here above on the histogram, you can see the settings that have been used for this particular image. Let's just turn off our white highlight for now. And then I was actually surprised or yeah, I was surprised by the timer. So it just went off and yeah, we can talk about the rest of the panel here tomorrow. So yeah, that makes it super close to actual working with the software. Okay. So I hope you guys learned something new today, especially if you want to post edit your photos. You have these much, you have all these controls within Lightroom, at least on the desktop version. So that's it for now. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. See you.